Hi guys, Jimmy here. Welcome back to my channel. So here's a look at what I watched on a recent flight that I took from Birmingham to Bangkok via Dubai with Emirates Airlines. Now this is their ICE system, Information, Connectivity, Entertainment. So this was the first leg of the journey, and this was from Birmingham to Dubai. It took a little under 7 hours, which wasn't too bad. Now when you first go into it, you've got the top 5 that they recommend. Then you've got movies, TVs, podcasts and audio, live TV, Dubai and Emirates TV, and then you've got music section, and there is tons and tons on each of these subcategories. I mean, the choice was absolutely amazing, and you will spend a good hour just thinking about what you're going to watch. Now when you've gone into the main categories, each of the sections are broken down even further. So here we have the movie section, and as you can see, you've got latest releases, action, horror, thriller, love stories, foreign films. I mean, the choice is absolutely huge. Now, even though the flight time is approximately 6 hours 45 minutes, by the time you've had something to drink, had your food, gone to the bathroom, maybe had a chit chat or a little nap, it depends on what sort of flyer you are. Me personally, I don't like to leave my seat unless I have to, and I will generally, on any flight I go on, probably sleep for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So even though the flight was 6 hours 45 minutes, I was probably going to be watching films for about 4.5 hours of that. Now, as you can see from the list of the latest movies that they've got, they literally have something for everybody. I mean, you've got The Wolfman, Nosferatu, you've got Flight Risk, you've got The Killer. I mean, again, Godzilla -1. The list was just so much that it was getting too much for me. I was thinking to myself, I need to just choose one film. Speak No Evil, Transformers 1. It was just non-stop, and I was thinking to myself, I really do need to pick one shortly and just get on with it, because otherwise the flight's going to be over. Joker 2, a misunderstood masterpiece, or an absolute mess. You guys decide on that one. But it was, I'd say, there is something for everybody on this menu. And just when you thought there was way too much on the movie section to watch, we then have the TV section, which has so much stuff on here as well. It is just crazy. You've got documentaries, action and adventures, you've got dramas, you've got history, you've got comedy, and then this is the sub-menu. So I went into Disney on this one to have a little look around at what Disney had, and it is huge what they've got on there. Then I went into, I think it was, yeah, that was it, Disney, Paramount Plus, sorry about that. And again, even in Paramount Plus, they had a fair bit. I went back to the movie menu. I went into HBO Max, and they had quite a few bits in there as well. I think that's mainly an American one, HBO Max, but there were some interesting bits on there as well. And again, just things that I wouldn't really normally get in the UK, so it was worth just having a little look around. Chernobyl, what a TV series that was. Absolutely gripping TV series. Then scrolled on a little bit further, and then you can see you've got documentaries from all around the world, sorry, TV from all around the world as well. So there is a huge amount on there. And then they have the music section with all genres covered and all music from around the world. So pretty much whatever area you're in, they will have some sort of music from there on this system. It was absolutely unbelievable. I went into the movie soundtrack section, and I ended up watching listening to the best of Bond before I snoozed off for a while. That was by the Philharmonic Orchestra, I do believe it was, and that was good. And then the film I decided to watch in the end, after all this scrolling through, was going to be an action and adventure, and I held off trying to get hold of this or streaming it, which was Den of Thieves Pantara, which actually was quite decent in all. And then my better half watched The Goonies, which was a classic. And this was our cruising altitude of 41,000 feet, and what a view that was. Now, I was intrigued because we got the exact same plane that I had from the first leg of my journey, and I was wondering if the movie section or TV section would be the same. Now, the top 5 were different, so I was surprised at that, because I thought it would just carry on from the last one because there was so much on there, but they did change some of the movies. So we had Captain America, the new Captain America one, which was very entertaining. And then, as I said, I was scrolling through and I ended up watching Captain America, and I also went for a classic TV series that I absolutely adore to this day, and I'll get into that a little bit later on. But as you can see, I went on to Disney Plus and had a little look through there, and there were some newer bits, but most of it was the same. And then I also noticed that they did there you go, drop the camera there, you see. They did collections, which I thought was good. So you could go in there and you could get a collection of the Marvel films, the Star Wars films, and they were all together. So whatever number they had, if it was 2 of them, 3 of them, or 4 of them, they had them all there. The horror section, I must say, was very, very good. There were some great films on there, The Wolfman, Nosferatu, and so forth like that. And as I said, I would scroll through here for a little bit, not too much. And as I said, on this leg of the journey, I ended up watching Captain America. I did watch Alien, but I did fall asleep partly way through Alien, which was a bit of a shame. Now, as we go through it, there were the box sets again. So again, I was very tempted to watch The Equalizer. However, I'd done that a couple of months ago, so there was no need to re-watch that. But the box sets were unbelievable. It's such a good idea to actually have that, because then you can catch up on something altogether. Now, what was very entertaining or intriguing was they'd done a I'll put my teeth in for that, a nostalgic section, which was interesting to look at just to see what films they had. Now, these were all classic films. They're Easy Rider, Bullet, Sound of Music, The Guns of Navarone, Psycho. They had On the Waterfront, what a film, The Maltese Falcon. There were some classic films on there. And I also, because of the length of time, I actually watched Frankenstein, because it was only an hour and 10 minutes, and because we had a flight delay of 3 hours and we were sitting on the runway for an hour, that's when I managed to watch Frankenstein. So Frankenstein was only about an hour and 15 minutes, I think it was. And then this film, I think it's pronounced Illyrium. I probably pronounced that wrong, but it was shocking, and I turned it off. And in the end, I caught a few episodes of Bob's Burger just to put a smile on my face after the delay. But it was all good. The flight was great. Guys, here's a last look at our altitude cruising speed. Take care, stay safe, see you real soon.